Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me. Those of you who have properties to sell or looking for property to buy, you can also contact me. And remember, if you lend your family and your friends or your neighbor your hard-earned cash and you cannot get it back once you have an agreement with them, feel free to contact Real Talk, that collection department, who will be willing to assist you. Now, it doesn't matter if a company owe you. It doesn't matter. As long as you have an agreement with them, stating that they're supposed to give you X amount of dollars in so and so time, and you don't have some managers, they like to duck, and they like to run, and they like to hide, and they like to delay payments. Feel free to get in touch with us. You can reach us at 339-1670 or 238-6716. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk with Saieed Ali in Trinidad, in Tobago, up the Caribbean, around the globe. Remember, we are on Facebook also. You can look us up on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Like and share. Those of you who like to look at us on YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. For those of you on our Facebook page, like and share this stream, encourage your friends, encourage your family. You know, when you're on the street, ask them, your friends and your family, hey friend, hear this now, you ever hear about Real Talk with Saieed? Look it up on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. It is the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago where we bring the issue live to you. And we also ask of you to call in. 238-6716 is our live studio line from 7 to 8 p.m. nightly, that's Monday to Friday, with a rerun the following day at 11 a.m. We want to hear from you. You know why I want to hear from you? Because you hold the power. It is because of your vote a party would lose and a party would win. You have the power, you have the voice to change things in the country that we live in, the country that you live in. You have the ability, you have the power to protest for the right. You have the voice to command what you want. So don't let anybody feel that you cannot do this and you cannot do that and you cannot do the next. You could. As long as you're doing it the correct way, you could do it. So viewers, call your friends, your family, send them a little message on Facebook, on YouTube, on Messenger, on WhatsApp. Let them know that Real Talk is about to start with Saieed Ali, the #1 current program. So before we go into our program tonight, it has been a rainy day in some parts of Trinidad and Tobago. There are still a light protests in Port of Spain area. There are many voice recordings of threat being sent to the commissioner, to Inspector Alexander, to the TTPS in general. There's a lot of voice notes circulating on Facebook, on social medias, on platforms that threat to TTPS. So tonight, I want to say a special good night to the hard-working TTPS officers who is on the correct track and trying to keep Trinidad and Tobago safe. So kudos to you thus far, guys. Be safe. I know you have your loved ones to go back home too. And for the criminals who are causing the uproar in Trinidad, think about this. You love your girlfriend and your children, that you're going out there. You're going out there. You're putting your life outside there. For what? What are you gaining by being a bad boy on the street? Who is going to take care about, who is going to say about your wife and your girlfriend and your children? Who is going to say about them? You love your wife, baby, I love you so much, but you're sticking a gun in your waist. You're sticking a gun in your waist and you're going out into the streets. To do what? To get killed? To leave the wife that you're professing you so love and the children that you so love? Who you getting killed for? A friend? Because a friend say he's a bad boy and he have a piece. You want to say you're a bad boy and you have a piece? Ask him if he have a wife that he love or a child that he love and wants to see grandchildren and wants to see his kid do something proper in life. Think about that. All these gangs. Now listen to this, we having a discussion tonight. Feel free to call in 238-6716. Let's have a discussion tonight. How many of you would stick a gun in your waist and go on the streets and protest, knowing that when TTPS see you and see this object in your hand, you could be killed by TTPS because they have the authority to do it on the streets. They have the authority to defend society because they are TTPS. Do you have the authority to shoot a gun on the street? No, you could be killed. So think about that. So as we move along tonight, viewers, remember we have our drive going on. We are raising funds, $10 million, to build the Rape Crisis Rehabilitation Center in Trinidad, the very first of its kind. Why is Saieed always saying the very first of its kind? Because it is the very first of its kind Rape Crisis Center in Trinidad and Tobago that will house a rape victim. That is why I keep saying the very first of its kind. So what you are seeing on screen presently is the landscape of how the back of the building would actually look. How it would actually look. Now, in order to reach this 10 million, I need 7,000 people to contribute 1,500 for us to reach that mark of 10 million. Now, it sounds plenty, but when you go liming and fetting and drinking and partying, you spend more than that. Why not plant a seed for our cause? Why not contribute for our cause? You might say, oh, well, my daughter can't be raped, or my wife cannot be raped. Boom! You're eating your words. You're eating your words. So viewers, I ask of you to contribute 1,500. Now we have prizes, we have car, we have all-inclusive trip to Tobago for 2 for the weekend. We have jewelry given out. Feel free to contact us at 1-868-339-1670 or 1-868-238-6716. Those of you from the outside that want to contribute, feel free to get in touch with us. Now this is our cause. Plant a seed for our cause. This is why I'm begging. I am begging for our cause. I'm not begging for money in my pocket, or I am not begging for business. I don't do that. God supply my needs. And I could say that. Because 2 years on the airwaves, on Synergy TV, without having to ask anybody for ads, it is the blessings of God. How many of you can say that? But nevertheless, as we move along tonight, so we're going into the PM response. There are many young people with guns in this country. This was a revelation made by the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, at a media conference earlier. He was responding to the protests that started on Tuesday.
We are exposed to a situation where there are many young people, particularly young people in our national society, who have obtained firearms, either for their own protection from other persons, many of whom are criminals, or out of fear of criminal conduct against them, or to use those firearms against persons who are targets of criminality. That's a fact.
So imagine, viewers, those words are coming out from the head of the Security Council in Trinidad and Tobago. And those words are also coming out of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago also. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. I overheard the Prime Minister said that he's going to give Laventille and their environment their special treatment for the youth. But what I have a problem with is, since 1956, they have been treated special. They don't pay rent, they don't pay water rate, they don't work, they don't have to do anything. What more special could you give them? I don't understand. And then when they have Mohammed Shabazz as a activist in the area, do you expect better? And this is one of the guys who hold up the country in 1990.
I understand what you're saying. Thank you for calling in, caller. So viewers, as a result, the Prime Minister sent a message to those young people saying that once they are in possession of these guns, the police will have theirs.
Today, I'm appealing to the young people of this country and saying to them, the young and the not so young, when you take up arms for whatever reason, you are automatically putting yourselves in harm's way with respect to law enforcement. Because the only response that the state will provide in that situation, on that moment, is an armed contingent.
So that is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, also the head of the Security Council in Trinidad and Tobago. And he is releasing a warning to the young and the not so young that if you pick up your guns, the officers will also pick up their guns. Commenting on the protest, the Prime Minister also confirmed that this was a planned.
I want to tell the national community that what we saw, the spontaneous and sporadic fires in the streets and the in-your-face responses to the police officers, was organized.
So we heard from the Commissioner of Police saying they had information. We heard from the Minister of National Security saying that they had information prior to the incident. Now we are hearing from the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, who is also the head of the Security Council in Trinidad, saying that he also had information. So my thing is now, all of you have all this information. All of you are holding a position, but not one gang leader. Not one gang leader in Trinidad have been held thus far. But all you're keeping all the media briefing, you're keeping your press conference, and you're coming out to tell the public, we have information, and we have information, and we have information, and not one criminal element in Trinidad and Tobago is behind prison right now. The protests come, killings, destruction, and it would go, and maybe nobody would be held with all the information all you have. Where's the tactical team? Where's the intelligence unit? Where's the unit that would go out and look for these elements and them? Or are you all afraid to go out and meet these elements and them and put them behind bars? Which one it is? Which one? Are you all afraid to do it? According to the Prime Minister, the police service had prior knowledge of the planned demonstration. However, he said there was no evidence.
We have gathered prior to the street marches and the street fires some information that this was being organized by persons known to the police. But there's a difference between information and evidence. But the information we had made us aware of what was being organized and who was organizing it.
What they said, I want evidence? You all got evidence. Tuesday, Wednesday, it's Thursday night tonight. What more evidence do you need now from these elements that you all say that are known to the police? What more evidence? You all have 3 days of protests, 3 days of fire on the streets. What more evidence do you need? Are these elements untouchable? Or is TTPS afraid to go and lock them up? I'm asking questions because according to all three of you, the Commissioner of Police, the Minister of National Security, and the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, you all have information prior to this event. Now that the event is taking place, and for days now it is taking place, these elements that is known to the police, as you say, Mr. Head of Security Council, where are they now? Where are they? How come they are not behind bars? Because what more evidence you need? What more? Not in a magistrate court or a judge court. They want to see evidence. As long as they say evidence, you are guilty. We had 3 days. Gun battle between the police and the citizens, the right citizens, and the bandits and protesters. So what more evidence do you need to go and hold these elements that are known to the TTPS? Come out and tell the public, you don't have evidence now? You don't have evidence now? Call a good night. Hello? You stick, you get the click. So listen this now. The Police Complaint Authority, PCA, has launched an investigation into the fatal shooting of Beetham residents Onilla Greaves on the Beetham Highway on Tuesday. In a statement, the PCA said, as an independent oversight body, it is committed to ensuring that no police officer act above the rule of the law. The PCA has called on any witness or anyone with information on the incident to come forward. 30-year-old Greaves was fatally shot during Tuesday's confrontation between police and protesters at the Beetham Gardens. She was said to be pregnant. Now, if I'm going to say something, people are going to get vexed. But if you are pregnant, take into consideration and who vexed loss, because a smart person would understand the meaning of pregnancy. They would understand what pregnant is. So if you are pregnant, what are you doing in a protest? Condolences to the family. Condolences to the family. I understand that you all lost a loved one. But what were you doing in a protest? You should have been home in your house, nurturing your pregnancy. Call her good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, the Prime Minister, they believe everybody foolish, you know. You know, I understand this whole scenario. What it did for the people for the 5 years in office. Just blame the opposition. But I'd like to differ a little bit on this subject, you know, because what happened, I live in Rich Plains.
That's Diego Martin?
Yeah. And we applied for water. We haven't been getting water for the last 2 weeks. You know what we were told today? They send all the water trucks down Shagaramas. And no water, we will be getting water next week. So if you need to put 2 and 2 together, what is happening in Shagaramas?
I understand. Thank you. Bakola, how long you did not have water in Shagaramas?
No, what's saying? You could check it up and you could get the information better to plenty people outside there. How
long you had not received water in Rich Plain?
Well, we were actually, we live on a hill and we haven't received for about 2 weeks.
Okay, okay.
There is water supply.
Thank you, my friend.
I was told today that the people say where we get the water trucks go on Shagaramat and they will make it no waterborne truck supply and the well done.
Okay.
So it's total madness.
Thank you, my friend. So listen to this, viewers. Cabinet has given its approval for the establishment of a committee. Establishment of a community recovery program in the aftermath. Oh, I would love this, you know, after the demonstration this week. So a community recovery program will be established. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced that the program would be piloted by Anthony Watkins. He said this program, which will be especially for communities that are in need.
The alternative that I would initiate, or should I say reinitiate today, is the establishment by the government of Trinidad and Tobago of a community recovery program aimed specifically at these problem areas which give birth and sustenance to the lawlessness, the hurt, the anger, the discrimination, and all the negatives that are associated with what some people glibly call hotspots.
Now, listen to this carefully. And I want you to take this into consideration. You are going to reinitiate a community recovery program. You're going to reinitiate this into places that you call hotspots where people are suffering. Because of the protests, you are going to launch this. No problem, all well and good. So what about now? If every community in Trinidad and Tobago decides to protest now, because in every community there are people suffering, what are you going to do, Mr. PM? Call a good night.
Hello, Mr. Saeed.
Yes, go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
I'm trying so long, how much weeks to get on the program to tell you what a good program you'll be running, man. I really enjoy it, you know. But, Sienna, your face will be real familiar, you know. You is not the Conman Luchman from the Point Fountain?
Who? Who? What Lachman? What? Partner, to tell you the truth, I have no idea who are you. Who is Lachman? I know where Point 14 is, but I am Saieed Ali. I am not Lachman. So, thanks again for calling in. So think about this, Mr. PM. If every community in Trinidad and Tobago decides to protest now, come out and light up tires and light up debris in the road and bring out some old vehicle and block the road. If every community in Trinidad decides to do that, what are we going to do? Reinitiate our program in the community? Well, then that will be good. That will be good because every community then will get help. So if that is your plan for the East and the West, that is good. Well, then Trinidad and Tobago needs to do something in every community so that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, who made a statement just now, will do the same for every community and every constituency in Trinidad and Tobago. Because it seems like the protest is the only way we would get something done. So if the communities now decide to come out and launch a protest, I would not say nothing. I would not say nothing. Call a good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm listening to the discourse we're having here, right? And I'm trying to understand what is wrong with the young lady coming out to protest extrajudicial killings in Trinidad and Tobago, where we see an 86% increase in such. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. You go right ahead.
Yeah, and I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. Whether you're pregnant, whether you're small, old, you're eligible, once you are protesting extrajudicial killings in Trinidad and Tobago, where the TTPS have become judge, jury, and executioner, they have usurped the Constitution.
Let me ask you a question. Would you allow your pregnant wife or daughter go out in the streets and protest knowing they could lose the baby while protesting with some rubbing up and some bouncing and some probably a fall down? Would you allow that?
You are protesting for a cause, and the cause.
So okay, so the baby in her belly, it shows no concern to you being a man, neither the mother.
I disagree with you. What about if the baby grows up to be 18, 17 and is shot by the police?
Forget how the baby grew up. If the baby died before he grew up, where he growing up?
Well, that's why you just raised the issue. I see no problem with the young lady highlighting her issue regarding extrajudicial killings.
Caller, thank you. Thank you. Because I will talk from now on to the morning and you still wouldn't answer the question. My wife, my sister, or my daughter, and many of you fathers and boyfriends and side boyfriend and girlfriend and grandmother will understand what I'm saying. I would not let my wife, my sister, or my daughter come out in the street pregnant. How much months? I think 7 months, they say. 3 months? 3 months you could lose your baby. If you slip and fall, you have a miscarriage. If somebody hits you in your stomach, it's a miscarriage. Keep in mind you're in a protest. Keep in mind you're in a protest. You just demonstrated by calling that you don't care if your wife, your daughter, or your sister end up in a protest and lose their child. It shows that you don't care. Caller, good night. Hello? The Prime Minister noted that this program has nothing to do with race or religion. Thank you.
I will not be dissuaded to change course from this by any person who believes that this has to do with the race, religion, or geography. This has to do with the peace, security, and good order and opportunity for all the people of Trinidad and Tobago, particularly those persons who live this experience. We aim to change that experience.
So my thing to you now, Prime Minister, Trinidad and Tobago wants a new experience in all the communities throughout the country. Throughout the country. Because throughout the country, in every community, there are the ones that not working. They are the ones that are knowledgeable and can't find a job. They are the ones who are willing to work and can't find a job. And they are the ones who are being laid off. So in every community in Trinidad and Tobago need that initiative that you are talking about. Not just the hot spot, but throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So let me tell you something. How do you identify a hot spot? How do you identify a hot spot in Trinidad? Because of the killing? Because of a gang in the area? Because it have a bad boy down there for hire? How do you identify the hot spots? If you say because of what take place, well then throughout Trinidad and Tobago, if they decided to protest for a change, you cannot blame them. You cannot blame them. You see, when you hear you're coming out to make a statement, especially to the public, you have to be aware of what you're saying. How do you identify a hot spot? How? Because they have gangsters in Lavantil? So because they have gangsters in Laventille and gangsters in Sealand, and on the west have gangsters, and the south have no gangsters, but people suffering, you're going to open a community now in the west while the south suffering? No! You cannot do that. You put an initiative on the west to help those in need, put an initiative down in the south to help those in need also, because they are human beings and we're right here in Trinidad. So you have a very good plan. I will compliment you on it. I am saying, well done. But keep in mind, throughout Trinidad and Tobago, there are communities that need help. Not just in the west, not just in the hotspot. So how do you identify a hotspot? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali. Mr. Ali, I listened to Ron Sinanan around 3:30 p.m. today on another channel. He said the UNC costing for the Europe interchange was close to $450 million. And then built the Europe interchange for $221 million. A saving of $190 million. The land by the K-Donor Driving Cinema, it is alleged the land was sold for more than what the interchange cost. Thank you.
All right. So since you're talking about the interchange now, here it is, viewers. Listen this. Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan revealed that the government saved a lot of money on the Kirap interchange project. He made the comments as he addressed the soil turning ceremony for the Diego Martin Vehicular Overpass project.
In total, when we look at the land acquisition and we look at the savings on the project, a saving in excess of $274 million as we calculate the figures now. So when I say we're here to launch a free project, what I'm trying to simply tell the citizens of this country is that this project at a cost of, I think it's $190 million, is as a savings from the Kirap interchange.
So we have a savings now. So with that saving now, they're going to build a vehicular overpass project in Diego Martin. First time in history, we have a project that saved money in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah? Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
I just highlighting about the Works and Transport Minister. The money we're saving, where is it coming back on spend it by in all them bridge and road and river, right? And then all the agricultural product just going away with flood, right? And the next thing, Wasa. I only hope Wasa run guttering for the pond to full and damp. Because, you know, all the rain that fall, you don't have no water.
True.
They never catch.
True.
And then they build a roof over the pond.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I feel I might get some water there, you know. Yeah, that is true. Thank you, caller. So listen this now, viewers. Listen this now. Government is considering a concern measures about the existence of gang activity in the country. Government is concerned about it now. Why are they concerned about it now? Because of the protest for the last 3 days? Let me tell you all something. It is known to Trinidad and Tobago and to commissioners past and present. Who are the gangs? Where the gangs live? Who is the head of the gang? And how much gang members there are in Trinidad and Tobago. And none of them cannot come and tell me, Said, we don't know who they are. If you don't know who they are, shut down TTPS. Close down SSA. Send home all the intelligent workers. Send them home. Because past commissioner and past Minister of National Security knew who they were. Because in Patrick Manning days, they used to talk about the big fish and who the big fish is and how much gangs they have in Trinidad. And Faris Al-Rawi, the Attorney General, came out and gave us numbers of how many gang members they are and how they escalated from 1,000 maybe to 2,000. So all you cannot come and tell me, all you now concerned about the gangs in Trinidad and Tobago. And making all yourself look like fools while holding a high position. Everybody in Trinidad and Tobago knows that there are many gang-related killings. When TTPS Lego a briefing, this killing happened because of gang-related. Killing in North because of gang-related. Killing on the East because of gang-related. Killing in Mayaro because of gang-related. Killing in Cedras is because of gang-related. Where the hell is the gang? And how the hell are they ain't holding members as yet? It's gang this and gang that and gang the next. And what the TTPS doing? What the intelligence services there for? Why? Why are they there if it's not serving any purpose? They say we have gang leaders going in the president's house too. And all are now showing concern. All are now showing concern because of a protest. This is according to the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, who is also the head of Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago. He said the fact that there are gangs who want to become at the police is a worsening of a bad situation.
We are very concerned about the existence of gang activity in this country. And we've taken certain kinds of steps to try to suppress and eliminate it.
Try to suppress? Try to suppress? Why are you trying to suppress when a gang leader ain't business about if you live or you die? You trying to suppress? What you trying to suppress? Being the head of the Security Council. All of this get information, all of making decision, raid north, raid south, raid east, raid west, raid central. It have gangs there, it have gangs there, it have a cooking house there, it have a block down there. Raid it and clean it up. All I want to come out on media briefing and talk about this and talk about that and your concern. I don't want to hear your concern. I want to see action. That is what I want to see, action. And then come out and voice your opinion about your concern and you want to suppress. That is why when I ask for something, it has come to pass. When I ask for bills and when I ask for legislation, it has come to pass. Because those that are seated in high authority, they are watching and they are listening and they are picking out the sense from the nonsense. The Prime Minister, however, said, coming together is not a bad thing, but what is needed is for the criminal elements to put down their guns.
It is good that they come together, but they ought to come together to stop killing one another and therefore not requiring the police to come at them. Because much of what the police is doing is responding to gang activity. And therefore, if there is to be a solution, the solution is not the gangs come together to fight the police or to kill the police. Because we as a population, largely of law-abiding people, we will have to have the police.
And one time they had, I think, is it boy, that was telling gang members to bring in their guns? Was that successful? There was paying criminals to bring in their guns. Was that successful? Was that successful? You taking up money from the treasury to put an initiative in place where criminals would bring in a gun, and they were, I believe it was something like $10,000 or $5,000 or something like that. I think Crime Stoppers, if they make a mistake, had that initiative going on. Was that successful? When TTPS whole individuals with weapon is AR-15 and AK-47 and grenades, stuff like that. So let's give away money from the treasury for free. For free. Call a good night.
I say good night.
Go right ahead.
Let me tell you why this Prime Minister making no sense. Side, when this country gained independence, under the People's National Movement, the first political party to move the PNM was the NAR. The election result was 33-3. The only three seats that remained in the PNM was San Fernando East, Lavante West, and Lavante East. Understand? Up to this day, those constituencies are still struggling. Yes, you will have one or two individuals who will make it and come out of those constituencies, but check it outside. Check all the so-called hotspot crime-ridden constituencies in this country. They are PNM constituencies. And for the Prime Minister to come now and talk about the Queen community, the horse done bolt out of the stable, it's too late. All itself caused these same constituencies to become how they are, to be aggressive and ignorant and all that aggressive thing. But all Prime Ministers get on, that's the same thing they bring. And when you see now those trying to rebelling out, the offspring are the same loyal supporters of the PNM. Who would have been saying PNM till are dead? They're the children who doing these things right now, who trying to cause anarchy and panic in the situation. Understand? People had enough, and now COVID come on the inside, and we have no case of community spread the lockdown in the country. So
true, true.
The more people lost work, lost a whole heap of different things. Now everybody frustrated side with all the lies and things government telling we. Delhi come here, this, that, gas going, so people fed up side, and this is what's going on right now. Time for the PNM to go, time for the PNM to forget electoral politics and take a rest. They suffer this country too much side. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. And that is so true. That is so true. You see, this is why we interact with the public. Because we want to hear what the public is saying. Because I will tell you something. We, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, voted for 41 MPs. Whether you be UNC, you be PNM, you be PEP, you be what? We, the citizen, voted that winning party 41 members to give them between $30,000 to $50,000 a month in salary, traveling allowance, food allowance, tax break, free trips abroad, proper health care, bodyguard walking with them 24/7. You see, we the citizens give them that. And in return, what did we get? We wanted a change. Believe me, we definitely got one. We definitely got one. You see, I am not about party. That is why I keep on saying I am not of any political party. I am a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago that would support an individual in a party that is supporting their community. I will do that. Don't label me as a UNC or as a PNM or a PEP or a NJAC or whatever. You see, none of them is funding Real Talk. And I am proud to say that. Because I will tell you something. You see, anytime I join a party, anytime I say join a party, I wouldn't be able to do what I am doing presently. And I am saying it with a bold face. I could get more done here than in a party. Take what I'm telling you, and I know why I'm saying that. I know why I'm saying that. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
All right. Now, if you have two sons, and you put them to school, but you know not everybody can take education, not so, Mr. Ali?
True.
Right. So you see one of your sons not making it there, you wouldn't send him to learn a trade or something to help himself in the future?
Yes.
How come the PNM people I know in that depressed area to tell these people to do that? How come now you are going to spend a set of money and carry them in the Queen's Park Savannah, feed on them and all kind of things to get them to do that? Where is the parents? All of this couldn't come to all their heads for 30, 35 years ago. That these boys and them, what the PNM do? They're going to be and say, well, they want to work for me. We're going to make the CPEP for you. We're going to give all their free house. Or they just vote for me. And they take that and they settle for it for 30-something years. So, but the parents, some long time, anybody from long time will tell you, boy, look, listen, you can't go to school, you know. You can't take the education, learn a trade. So in the future, you have something to live by. But no, all you have the people suffering. Now that they're marching, you can't pretending you're coming up with something. And today, Mr. Ali, today is the death anniversary of Mr. Manning. Do you know if Baliza was make a statement? Or this Prime Minister afraid because he said he went like a toe for the man. Have a nice night, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Let me tell you something. There are people who just call, Saeed, join this party, you're going to make a change. Saeed, join that party, you're going to make a change. Thus far, I have made a change without joining any party. You know why I say that? From September 2019 to the second week in December 2019, we pushed for 6 legislations and got 6 legislations and 2 bills. The last thing I pushed for before we went on the vacation or for Christmas is the decriminalization of marijuana. That is where you could walk with 30 grams of marijuana in your possession and you could smoke it in your porch sitting down. Just make sure that there are no little children around. And you could plant 4 trees in a house now. A man says, Saeed, how come you get a push? What you do? Really? Have you ever heard anybody in your lifetime ask for that? No. No. Last night a guy called in. How do you call a child when their mother come from China and they pick up a Trinidadian man and the child born in Trinidad? How do you call that child? He argued all kind of point and up to now he answered the question. And then others want to call me to tell me this, that and next. Or I should say thank God. It have somebody to educate earlier. It have a show that you could look at and you could be educated from it. This is what Real Talk is about. My education level is very high. And let me tell you something. The more I share it with earlier, is the more it's coming to my spirit. Caller, good night.
Good night, Sai. Good
Go
night,
right.
Trinidad and Tobago. Sai, the government cannot do nothing. They don't want to do nothing about the gang leaders. You know why? Because they free the gang leaders. That is what's going on. They free them. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. You see, that was part of my question. Are you afraid to attack these individuals? Why are you afraid? 1.3 million people in Trinidad and Tobago and 41 members of a party have us wondering, I wonder if I would lose my job. I wonder if the rice will go down in the grocery. I wonder if gas going up, budget coming, I wonder if gas going up again. I wonder how much I had to cut until me go have no pocket to cut. 41 individuals have us like this. Call good night. You see, this is why Real Talk was launched, to come out and educate you of your rights. Let me tell you something. Every one of you have rights as a citizen. Every one of you. That is why every 5 years, governments, the reason why I say governments is because government come and government go. They spend millions of dollars to get us, the citizens, to vote for them. So who are we? We are an individual, or we as a citizen have the power. You see what is taking place in Guyana? One party wants to comes in, the other one don't want to give up power. Why? Because power means something. Caller, good night.
Good night, Sari.
Go right ahead.
Okay, from what I see in here right now, these politicians, the Prime Minister, he is singing for his supper right now because they won't put a date for the election right now. The election they're supposed to be ringing.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yes, I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Yes, they are singing for the supper. The days are numbered because all the singing now start today. They have these youths, all you want to give them is URP and CPEP. That's nothing else for them. You send your child to school, they teach education when they came out. They have no work, no place for them. 10 passes and then KFC.
Thank you, caller. So we're in July. The end of September is when the financial year closes. Keep this in mind. A budget this be read after the financial year closes. Why the budget is read after the financial year closes is for the Minister of Finance to come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago for the next fiscal year beginning in October, because one financial year closes in September and another one starts in October. So there's an allocation of where money will be coming from and where it will be directed to. And if there is no reading of the budget or there is no election, we are going to end up in problems. We are going to end up in problems. Because if the financial year closes in September of 2020 and there is no budget, where is organizations going to get money from to continue running to the beginning of another financial year? Keep in mind, an election date have not yet been announced. So are we going to end up in problems? I think Parliament is, will dissolve in July month, sometime in July month. So if Parliament dissolves, closes, and there is no election date, and come September, the financial year closes, and there is no reading of the budget for 2021 allocation of finance to different organizations throughout Trinidad and Tobago, how are the civil servants, how is the government workers, and how is the private sector going to set their 2021 financial calendar year? And if you say foolish, it's 6 different languages. He's an accountant. I'm a businessman. So if the financial year closes and no budget, what is going to happen? No allocation. Caller, good night.
Hello, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. We talk about the government. The government, who is the government? Not the people in Trinidad and Tobago. They are the ones who put them in power. That's true.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, the people who really put them in power, the people are the government, but at the end of the day, since I know myself, they like what's going on.
Thank you, caller. So what is going to happen now? Because if Parliament is dissolved without an election day set in, that is a problem. If the financial year closes in September and a budget is not read in December for allocation to different ministries and various organizations, that will be a problem. That will be a problem for Trinidad and Tobago, because you might end up working without getting pay. Without getting pay. Is it going to be easy or is it going to be hard? Is it going to be another stay home? This time we're going to be staying home for free. So think about that. Think about that. July have started. July have started, and the Prime Minister said that the House will dissolve in July. I will have to check and see what date the House will be dissolved. Because before the House dissolves, there have to be an election date set. Who into politics will know that. So viewers, before we end our show tonight, there's a rerun tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Please keep in mind, I am trying to raise funds to build a rape crisis rehabilitation center in Trinidad. It will be one of its kind. It will be the only rehabilitation center, where a rape victim could actually come in and stay a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and be revitalized. When you're in a surrounding like that you are seeing on TV, when you are in a surrounding like that, that scenery would cause you yourself to think that there is something to live for. There is something to live for. Now keep in mind, rape could happen to anyone, whether you're young or you're old, whether you're a male, whether you're a female. So again, I ask the business population to come out and support. Come out and support. This is what I'm asking of you. If you want to run an ad, it's not a problem. Because watch me, we're doing things different because we have to raise funds now. We're raising funds. Now if you decide to run an ad, don't feel you're putting money inside pocket, you know. No. Don't think that, because that money you're coming to run an ad with, it will be going to the rape crisis center. It's not going in this pocket. That's one thing I could say boldly on TV. So if you want to run an ad, not a problem. Get in touch with us. We are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. I thank God for my victory. I thank God for my gains. I thank God for my success. And success, for those of you, let me explain something to you before we close up. If you feel success, it's because the Range Rover you're driving, or success is about a chain of business you have, that is not success. You know what is success? Is how many people you could help. That, my friend, is success. Success is not your Range Rover. Success is not your business. How many people you can help, that is success. Be safe until we meet again. Good night.